Okay, so again, yeah, I think my video cut out. So what I was saying was the price was $1,200 before the reduction. Just make sure that you talk about the price and you put that $sign there. Okay, so anyway, let's go to the next example. So your grandma needs your help. She has $50,000 to invest. Part of this money is to be invested in non-insured bonds paying 15% annual interest. The rest of this money is to be invested in a government-insured certificate of deposit paying 7% annual interest. She told you that she requires $6,000 per year in extra income from the combination of these investments. How much money should be placed in each investment? Okay. So again, she has $50,000 to invest. She's going to put part of this money in non-insured bonds paying 15% annual interest. The rest of this money is going to be invested in something that's 7% annual interest. And then she told you she requires $6,000 per year in extra income from the combination of these investments. So step 1, let's figure out our X. So X is going to be the amount invested in the non-insured bonds at 15%. So I'm just going to say X is the one at 15% interest, right? And then from there, we know that she's going to take a certain amount and invest it, right? So she has $15,000. She's going to invest X amount, and then whatever's left over is going to be what she invests in the 7%. So the 7% interest. Okay? So now from there, after her 2 investments, it says she told you that she requires $6,000 per year in extra income from the combination of these investments. So the money that she's going to get from investing, she's going to live off of at least $6,000 worth of it. So that means you're going to take X at 0.15%, because remember, when we have a percent, go left 2 times. All right, plus your 50,000 minus X at 7%, because remember, 7. Okay. That's all equal to the $6,000 that she's going to use to live on. So again, 0.15, this is our interest. And 7% is also our interest. They're just different ones. $50,000, we don't really talk about it there, but this X is the rate, and this X is the amount invested, or yeah. So anyway, let's simplify this a little bit. We can rewrite this as 0.15x plus 0.07 50,000 minus x equal to 6,000. Okay. So now we want to combine like terms. So before we can do that, we got to follow order of operations. Let's get rid of that. Wasn't really necessary for the problem. Sorry. Okay, so anyway, we want to combine, do order of operations. So distribute your 0.07 and you get 0.15x plus 0.07 times 50,000, or so 3,500 minus 0.07x equals to 6,000. Okay, so 0.15, let's combine our x's. 0.15x times minus 0.07x is 0.08. Okay, and then combine your constants on one side, variables on the other, and you're left with $2,500. Okay, let me add another page. Let me rewrite the problem. Divide by 0.08, divide by 0.08. And x is 31,250. Okay. So, this isn't your answer because one, we're talking about money, so you'll need to put a dollar sign in there. Two, that's just our x. That's not what the problem was asking you. It says how much money should be placed in each investment. So, at the 15% interest, the invested non-insured bonds. So, non-insured bonds at 15%, she should invest $31,250. Okay? And then we have government insured certificate. She should, at 7%, she should invest, so 50,000 minus 31,250. Let's go over here on the side and do that real quick. 50,000 minus 31,250. 0 minus 0 is 0. I have to borrow. So 10 becomes a 9. This becomes a 10. This becomes a 9. This becomes a 10. Okay, 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 2 is 7. 9 minus 1 is 8. 4 minus 3 is 1. She should invest $18,750. Okay, that's it. These are your answers. So you have two answers. If you just put this one, you'd only get a little bit of credit. Okay, so let's look at geometry-based word problems. So when you have geometry-based word problems, you're going to need to have a little bit of understanding of just this basic geometry. So you should know the formulas for area and perimeter of a square, rectangle, circle, triangle, trapezoid, cube, rectangular solid, circular cylinder, sphere, and cone. You do not have to memorize these. I will provide you these formulas on the test, and I just provided them here in case you don't have them on the homework and you need to use one, so you can refer back to these notes and just have them all right there handy dandy for you. Okay, so let's look at an example. The length of a rectangular basketball court is 44 feet, more than the width. If the perimeter of the basketball court is 288 feet, what are its dimensions? Okay, so the length of a rectangular basketball court, that's the first hint. So we know for area of a rectangular court, it's just length times width. But it's not asking for area, it's asking for perimeter, which is 2 times length plus 2 times width, right? Because it asked you if the perimeter of the basketball court is 288, what are its dimensions? So if we know that the formula for perimeter is 2 times L, which is your length, plus 2 times width, which is your which is W, then or 2 times W is width. Then, and anyway, sorry, I'm rambling. P is your perimeter, which is 288 feet, equals 2L plus 2W. Okay, so now we have these two unknowns. So let's go back to the problem and see if we could simplify this anymore. The length of a rectangular basketball court is 44 feet more than the width. Okay, so we know that the length is 44 more feet than the width. So it's just width plus 44. So we can leave width alone, and we can change our L. So it becomes 2 times 44 plus W plus 2W. Okay, so Let's distribute the 2. 2 times 44 is 88. 2 times W is 2W plus 2W. Let's subtract, let's combine like terms. You get 4W. I'm gonna add a page real quick. If we subtract 88, then you're left with 200 is equal to 4W. And for some reason, every time I add a page, it always puts this stuff, and the only way to get rid of it is by doing that. It's pretty annoying. Alright, so now we can divide by 4, divide by 4. Your 4's cancel. 4 goes in 25 times, and then you have your 0. So width is 50. So don't box this in. That is not your answer, right? Let's go back up here. It asks you, what are its dimensions? So it wants to know width, and it wants to know length. So you say W equals 50, and length is 44 plus 50, right? Which is 94. So make sure you include units. And we can look, it gave you perimeter is 288 feet. So feet. These are your answers. Okay, cool. Alright, so we've learned about solving for x when we just have one variable, but sometimes there are 2 or more variables. We know the formula for a rectangle is P equals 2L plus 2W. Let's solve for width. So what if you don't have any numbers? It just wants you to solve for width, okay? That's fine. You can still do that. All you need to do is isolate width, right? Because that's what we're looking for. So let's rewrite our problem. We're looking for W, so let's get it alone. So first, we'll subtract 2L. And you have P minus 2L equals 2W. Okay, divide by 2, divide by 2. The 2's cancel, and you're left with W equals P minus 2L over 2. That would be your new formula for width. Alright, and then what if the variable we want to solve for occurs twice? This is when factoring is going to come in handy. So if we're looking for P, then just factor out P. So let's rewrite the problem real quick. Let's factor out a P, and you're left with 1 plus RT. Okay? If we're solving for P, then we'll divide by 1 plus RT. Divide by 1 plus RT. And you get P is equal to A over 1 plus RT. And that would be your new formula. Okay, that's it, guys.